such a disconnect from Washington to the people of this country. You have set yourselves up on a level that you do not identify with your own constituents anymore.
Well, that was the rage then, and this is the reality now. In Missouri, 71% of voters rejecting a provision in President Obama's health care law forcing Americans to buy health insurance. And, Jerry, the show-me state is already trying to show the president something. What?
Right. Well, I think they hate this bill. They hate this legislation, as so many Americans do. 71%, that's pretty impressive. Now we're going to see more states go down this referendum road. And, of course, we just saw the Virginia Circuit Court judge say, hey, you know, there are constitutional grounds to object to this.
You know, and this is already baked into law. I mean, if they were to undo this, Charles, on the basis of what you're doing isn't constitutional, those little silly items, this thing is toast.
Well, it is toast, although I think ultimately it's going to take a Republican in the White House and a majority. But
you're defanging its big
You're definitely defanging it. I mean, and you know, even though this vote was mostly symbolic, you know, I'd say it's akin to the guy who stood in front of that tank in Tiananmen Square. You know, the people are raising their voice against this government. That's all this really is they're saying, listen, that's not just Jerry said they don't like the bill, the law. They don't like the way it was passed, the way it was sold to them, and the way it's being lied about right now, Adam. They don't like that.
They don't like overweening government, period, where the federal government is coming into the states and telling individuals in states how they have to behave. The states are completely burdened with mandates from the federal government, whether it's health care coming up, whether it's labor, whether it's education, whether it's the environment. Good luck trying to run your own state. Good luck trying to keep taxes low in this environment.
Now, you know, Adam, I've heard the argument that, you know, the health care law, it'd take a lot to undo the law. It is the law. But if the key and most important part of that law is requiring folks to pay for health insurance, and that's taken away, then the law is not the same law, right? In fact, it's nothing.
Well, the law is complex. The provision that the good people of Missouri were voting on doesn't take effect until 2014. So there will be time while these regulations get written for people to have their say, and in fact, Neil, for people to vote out the Congress, and as Charles said, to vote in a new president. And of course, it could be changed. We could pass new legislation if that's what the people want. I think in the meantime, the president will have the opportunity to continue to try to sell this thing, and maybe he'll fail, Neil, but I think he'll succeed. And Charles, you know, grievous injustice to compare this statement that the people of Missouri were making with the statement that the Chinese people made in 1989 in Tiananmen Square against repression against human rights. I mean, please.
I got to tell you, they can hit on it. People feel like they have no rights in this country. You can ask the people who voted on this. You can ask the people in Arizona.
Well,
a lot of
then
people
we should remind them, Charles, that they do have rights in this country. For example, to stand up at a town meeting and say what they think without having to worry about being shot. They do have rights in this country. But their vote doesn't matter anymore because they can vote on things and it can be taken away from them no matter what. We might as well stop voting on these things.
Jerry, I guess it comes down to whether people have faith in their leaders to exercise.
We have every opportunity to vote on these things. That's what they did.
Fine. But, Jerry, the bigger question here is whether people have faith in their leaders to do what they think is right. And